Hello, everyone. Welcome to Trench Talk with me, your host, Lek, and my main man, Fonzman.
Yo, yo, what's up, Lek? How's it going tonight, man?
It's going. It's fucking 1 a.m. We're,
Oh,
look,
yeah.
we,
We're
we
doing a
record,
late night recording, baby. That's what I like to hear.
we record
We
this
got the
shit.
energy up.
Look,
Mm.
planning for this is the worst because you might, if you deal with Fonzie at all, you know that this man is half the time either cooked or he's, like, fried, I swear.
Cooked or
Cooked,
fried,
cooked,
man?
fried, asleep, or I don't know.
Look, man,
Maybe he's out on something. What are you on
well,
tonight? What is your drink of
uh,
choice?
I'm actually, I've just been drinking sparkling water and shit as of recent. I don't actually drink. I'm not a big drinker, so,
Neither am
Lex
I, but
says that
tonight's
I,
special.
you know, I, I'm known in Som because I'm a little bit of a pothead. I'm not even that much like the Som guys blow it out of proportion. I like
It's
have
funny
a
because,
smoke like at the end of an op, and people are like, "Oh, Fonzie smokes so much pot," and it's like, dude, I smoked like half a cone and passed out. Like, fuck off. I'm not some degenerate junkie
yeah, no,
cocksucker.
it's
But
at least you weren't like fucking Odie. Did, did you,
oh yeah, dude, Odie, yeah. When Odie, or it's like with like fish and
bro?
so yeah,
He was
with the
doing it into the mic.
yeah.
It's like you got your kid with there. You having a bubble bath, my man?
Yeah, fuck, dude. That's rough. But with everything,
Yeah, welcome to
yeah, man.
Trench Talk. Our
Yeah, welcome
bullshit.
to Trench Talk,
I
yeah.
hope you enjoy our bullshit if you're
hmm
watching this. Um,
So,
Today we got a little bit of a topic that we feel like we should get out of the way fairly early on in one of these
yeah,
episodes. It's not a current topic, but we can leave current topics for later episodes. But right now is a bit of a lull in the Foxhole community, so we feel like we should handle a big question here. What is that question, Fonzie?
what did you just say?
Oh God, you, it was such a fucking low ball. You couldn't hit that.
No, what did you just say? I didn't
Did you?
understand you. What did you just
Am
say?
I slurring my speech?
No, 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 no. What did you just say though? I sorry, it just
I was
like my
asking
my
you the
brain
question.
freaking.
What's the question? What's the
Oh, so the
topic?
topic. Okay, so the topic for today. Ah, yes. See. Okay, Lex. So the topic for today is since we're both older players, I figured this would be something interesting to talk about. Is we've both experienced, at least I have. I was a neutral for about a year and a half. I have what? Do you have 5 years of Foxhole under your belt?
Yeah,
Can you
since
say? Yeah.
April 2017.
Mm-hmm. Around the same time for me. So we both remember the histories of both factions. We both got opinions on both
Roughly, yeah.
factions. And that's really what we're gonna talk about today is just sort of like our opinions on each of the factions, sort of stuff that's happened between us and other members of the faction and things like that, or factions rather. And I'll try to keep it positive here. Like recently, we were approached by someone that we brought up, and I'm not gonna name them because
No,
they
no,
asked us
no.
not to bring it up.
Don't even say
But
this
yeah,
much, cause like
yeah,
it's obvious. Come on.
yeah.
No.
Then if
Anyway,
I said a lot of names, so
you
and
said
we
a
have
lot.
two
You We
episodes
have
left.
said a lot of
We have a
names.
lot
We've
of
called
names,
out
yeah,
a lot of people in just 2 episodes.
yeah.
Who are we
But
talking about? I wonder. But
yeah. But yeah, if you ever have a problem with me talking about you or saying anything about you, and it's like a genuine concern, it's not me shooting the shit and just like razzing you, then just, let me know. And if you don't want me to be brought up, I'm sure like it's just, I wouldn't, if you had something you were doing for fun on the side and
if it's
you want to
reason,
be brought up, and then, yeah.
here's the
If
thing.
it's
Here's the thing.
like if it's like some shit like I said, dude, you fucking blundered an HTD play, and you're like, don't talk about that. It's like, man, shut up. It happened in game. Like, back it up. But
I'm
if
gonna be
you,
real.
no,
So you exist. Here exists in like an online space. You know what you're doing by like being in the community, and like I think most people reasonably want to not be the center of attention. I think you and I are very unreasonable people, thinking that like with our inflated egos that people would actually care to put us at the center of attention. But I think fundamentally, like if you want to, if you don't want to be talked about, that's fine. I mean, like, if it's something reasonable where you think like we're ribbing you too hard, I'll hear it out. Might not depend if I find it unreasonable though, I probably will still rib you. Or if
Yeah,
I don't,
it's
or if I don't
it's
like you, but
dude.
I
I
look,
mean, even
I don't
if I
hold that
don't
much hate in my heart
like
for most of the
if I
community.
like yeah, I don't think there's anyone I genuinely like hate in the community. There's some people I definitely have like some disdain and like whatever dude
For
kind
me,
of
it's mostly
mentality.
just
Not
like
fucking
I
them,
think
but
you're a waste of time, so I have
yeah.
you like
Well,
blocked or
it's
ignored or
definitely
some
like
shit.
okay, like I'll say this like let me compare. Me and Shiv have had some pretty good like funny and I bring Shiv up a lot because Shiv is definitely like a and I'm gonna fillet Shiv a little bit here. I just said his name 6 times, but he's a really good guy. He's a solid guy. He's a solid player. Cool dude. Just in general, I really like him as a player. I mean, Drunkle's another good example of that.
Yeah,
Rattletrap from Vox. He's a Trap from Vox. He's not too bad of a guy, and I mean, he's a warden by blood. Judas Thumb, Judas is a really good friend of mine, and he's the fucking warden before he joined Vox too. So that was, there's definitely like some people. If I make fun of you and I'm just like teasing you, I'm probably gonna
hey,
keep
look,
teasing you. But
I don't really
if
know.
you
I
ask
don't
me,
know enough wardens to make fun of them. Okay.
I mean, I don't
You
know a
only
lot
know
of the
that
new
you only
generation
know
of
the ones
wardens.
worthy of being made fun
Yeah,
of, right? Or at least I do.
yeah, true. I mean, yeah, fair enough. But um,
But no,
oh,
Shiv,
uh,
good player,
good guy. Yeah,
good dude. Like his content. He's funny.
yeah.
He's generally sensible.
I
Good to have
saw
a
Bear,
conversation with.
good guy.
Actually, I'm mad because I forgot to on our first episode we were talking about like content creators. I don't know how I
Mm-hmm.
didn't bring up Bear. Fucking super nice, super chill dude. Let me
Yeah,
fillet him because
yeah.
he already agreed to at some point beyond this with
Did
us.
he really, dude?
Yeah, well, no, well,
Bear's a pretty cool
look.
guy.
He already agreed to be on the other
Oh,
podcast,
okay. So,
right? The one that
so
won't
which?
mention
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So we're
So
not going to
okay.
mention what they're called, but
Yeah.
apparently he already agreed to go on theirs.
So,
So
so this somehow turns it into he'll come. Dude, that's a far stretch,
it's
man.
an arms race. Who can get the
Uh,
devs on to the
dude,
stream first?
Bear.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be them. I'm
exactly.
telling you right now, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
them.
definitely
But
gonna be the dude. Crazy banana fucking streams, man. I don't.
we're not supposed. Hey,
Oh wait, okay,
don't say
yeah, I
the name
can't
of the
name drop them.
competition,
So,
okay?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But one of them is a streamer, and
It's
they're both. I mean, they're both
hey, look.
solid. Like, I don't think they're any. I bet.
I'm not
Like, I
saying
remember.
I'm not saying hate. It's a friendly
No,
rivalry, and it's an
yeah,
arms race
friendly
to see
rivalry. Yeah.
who can get the bigger like it'd be real if any of us can get like an actual famous streamer. When I say actual famous,
Yeah,
like
actually,
I mean
famous
like
too.
summit
Wait,
tier. Like
dude, getting
imagine
Summit on
if
the
we could,
on Trash
bro.
Talk, that would be fucking hilarious. Dude, I
That
was
would
watching
be.
Summit play DayZ, and they had someone asked them in chat, Summit, can you give a speech to the Colonials out on the front line right now? And General
I
Summit, God
saw
bless him,
I
gave
saw
a
the
speech.
clip. Yeah.
Those wardens are out there, and they're upset because you guys got a new tank or something like that. Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah,
No,
dude. Uh,
Bear is like I think Bear or Dury, despite them being a neutral and warden, are some of the best streamers in
no,
the
yeah,
Foxhole
yeah.
community. I think they're chill dudes. I think Dury's really good at the game, and I think Bear promotes a really positive
No,
atmosphere and brings some great
I,
ideas to the table
yeah, yeah.
generally. Um,
Bear Bear is one of the few people who I can say in Foxhole who definitely has a clue. Like, even I myself, people see me as as being cool now, but even in the past, I did some pretty uncool shit. I've said some pretty uncool shit to people. Like, you know,
we won't talk. Hey, we
yeah,
both started in 2017.
yeah.
Nobody here wants to be back in
All I'm
2017.
saying is
Okay.
that anything said in old school Foxhole discords past 2019 no longer counts on your record, okay? That's it. It's scratched off. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, but back to get more on topic with
No,
the
this is on
factions. I mean,
topic. I feel
yeah,
like,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But I mean, let's
This is like
yeah, it is pretty on
this is
topic.
well,
Yeah.
we're mostly
I mean, we
talking about
just
the
spent
community, right?
15 minutes, sucking off Bear and a bunch of wardens. So let's suck off the colonials real quick. So ha, do you want to start? What are your thoughts on the colonial faction? When you think of the colonial faction, what are the sort of core tenets you've seen of the colonial faction over your 5 years? Or not,
I
like sort of like the like what it means to be a colonial. Like, what are some big moments in colonial history? Do you think
Man,
for
it's been so. I gotta start off right off the bat. When I look at the modern colonial like community, I'm looking at people like Urena. I'm looking at people that joined like after War 70, right? There are so
Mhm.
many people that joined within the last like year and a half with the population boom. The modern Foxhole like community as a whole, it's just not the same. So
Yeah,
like whatever I could say about the core of the colonial identity, it's just not what it was because
yeah,
functionally, I
100% agree.
think as much as people might hate to admit it, the factions are closer than they've ever been because of how like air quotes mainstream things have gotten, right? I think like to go through a bit of history, I think like for a long time, wardens had significantly better clans, but on average you'd find like slightly better vets on colonial, and it would somehow balance out where wardens would be better at organization, but like you'd get small like tight knit groups of colonials that were known for doing really good like work, right? The whole thing was that wardens were generally unified under a message of like Callahan and like big clans like DK and shit like that, whereas colonials were all like these small random shitty clans or like moderately sized clans, never really anything super big, and like generally like a bunch of rowdy fucking apes. Like sigil monkeys was like literally the
Well,
sort of like how people described
yeah,
themselves. Like, and
and
that was like the huge like 2018, 2019, and like early 2020. Like that
let
was
me add something
yeah.
on to that there, Lex. So with that, I bring up there's certain groups of colonials and stuff like that where there's certain colonials who still subscribe to that old school. Because do you remember in like Colonial National Guard, CNG, all these like 74 the Attack Legion, 71st Attack Legion, all these other
21st Attack
dirty,
Legion,
yeah,
God bless,
21st Attack
dude,
Legion. Yeah, there we go.
dude. The
So do you remember what would happen is everyone would be chilling in a VC, and what would happen is you'd have some fucking Mongo join, like you'd have Massive Titties join in like 2018, go, "Oi, the wardens are pushing here. We need something," and yeah, everyone would go QRF it compared to the amount of organization wardens had, and I do admire that back then, and I completely agree. I think the
I
factions have become, it's disheartening to see in my eyes, because one of the core things of being a colonial has always been uh, is like, don't, like, colonials in my eyes were always the don't give, like, coming back from the brink faction, right? I mean,
there
War
was
77 reinforced that, War 19 reinforced
War
that,
19 and War
like,
77.
so,
Wardens did have that one really good comeback
yeah,
in it was like the 50s. I think it was like 56. This is like
yeah.
a hyper specific number, but like we pushed Lynn and then they managed to win after we had taken
And
all
I
of
mean,
Lynn or
there was
something.
that war recently too, where the wardens came back as well with the
Yeah, yeah,
HE.
yeah. The cannon smoke,
Yeah,
west
and
versus
smoke.
east. Actually,
Yeah.
it's really funny you mention that because holy fuck, I hate people. I hate people so much that argue, people are dumb. People keep saying like, oh, the West is disadvantaged in East versus West, when reality East versus West is by far the most balanced game mode. Or like
Um.
layout, I think. Just like
So I kind of like with
water
terrain.
logic gets a bit fucky depending on like if it's southwest and east or like
Just due to my
northeast or.
playstyle, I actually prefer when colonials are losing, because it gives me more space to like. I can pull, like, I can definitely pull up, and
Are you talking about
this
in
was some,
like the south maps
yeah, yeah.
because they're more
In
open?
Southern, I was like like Heartlands. I can pull off Heartlands, Lindamercy, Westgate. Those are some of my favorite regions to fight in.
More.
Why? Because it's open, and like you can flank. There's a
I was
lot of
gonna
good
say
flanking
Moors, but Moors
opportunities.
isn't super
Yeah.
applicable.
Moors is pretty good for that, actually. I
More
really like
southern Moors is
Moors. Is
pretty
a lot
good.
of
Reaching has some areas like that.
Yeah,
Um,
reaching is really easy to flank on roads because
weathered
it's not
too.
weathered.
Part of the
I think
problem.
weathered as a region, like, weathered is one of my least favorite regions in the game. I won't lie. Crow's Nest is like, it's Crow's Nest has been shit for 3 years, man, and it's gonna
Weathered
continue to
Expanse,
be.
I hate it because Weathered Expanse used to be like years ago. Years ago, it was like a really fun map because I remember World Conquest, I think 14, and
Hmm.
the old way that they had it laid out with like the cities near the outskirts of the map, and Crow's Nest and the other city like really close to each other in the middle. And it was a really interesting like map layout because there was a lot of open ground and like these big city fights that would break out like near the edges. Um, in terms of like it being a map today, I think the issue I have with it is that everything is concentrated with it like towards that east fucking the giant shitfest choke near Weathering Halls and like all the way down to Foxcatcher where it's just choke point after choke point on the east side, but like all the fun stuff is out in the west. But there's no like towns or anything out in the west. It's just relics and empty space, which makes trying to push there not impossible or even difficult, but it's just a little bit of a clusterfuck generally. But
Yeah. Do you remember Old School Spade? This is a little bit unrelated, but
yes, I
remember Old
do.
School
Yeah,
Spade with the dude, Old School
with the
Spade
ammo
was,
factory and
yes, with the
yeah.
ammo factory, and it was an actual town instead of just dude.
I actually
Matt,
never
that was,
fought there.
dude, if I could bring one thing back besides battle tanks and other things, it would be Old School Spade. I would bring back on the map at least. Old School Spade would be the one town I bring back.
You'd have to
I miss
like
Old School.
remove the river near Ogberon though to do that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. We'd figure it out, man. We'd make it work or make it some.
Yeah,
Because that
actually,
valley was
Mooring
so much
County
fun
to
to play.
Morris has gone through some crazy
Yeah.
map changes. This
Mhm.
isn't even a top. Why are we? I'm sorry. I've derailed. Haha, train
Uh,
puns. The
but we
conversation.
were talking.
This is
We're
about East versus
back
West,
to
and it was because some guy mentioned that West was disadvantaged. But yeah, no, I think and it was to do with comebacks, right?
Yeah,
You were saying
but we
something
were
about
discussing. Yeah, we were discussing just like the history of
yeah.
colonial and colonials for sure. I always think of colonials as the big comeback, against push against it. And I mean that was
I
especially with the dawn of arms race, man. And this is I've and okay, any warden, and I'm gonna say this right now. I'm firing from the hip right now. I'm on full auto with an Uzi, just firing from the hip here. So this might not be greatly accurate, but Arms Race. From my memory of it, I hated Arms. Like the start of Arms Race when it was
yeah,
Silverhand versus the Ballista. Dude, that was ridiculous. I remember hopping inside the Ballista and like thinking it was a joke. Like I was, is this
bro.
like? I thought it was gonna be like an actual like SPG when I was like, oh my god, dude, we have like artillery tanks now. That's sick. And it was just like
Nope.
it was
It's
terrible. The
it's
Ballista
this
was terrible.
the
The Ballista
fucking.
was terrible.
Do you
Then the
remember
Ballista
when
was
everyone
good.
called it a
Oh
fucking
shit,
potato
dude.
gun?
Yeah, that was the bullet. Oh my god,
Actually,
the old
oh
school
my
bullet
god,
was
do you
phenomenal
remember
too.
old 250 did like I remember this is a distinct memory I have because when the ballista launched, its damage was so like it and it had its same reload and all its stats, but the damage on the actual 250 mil was actually it was not the same as satchels. It was like a lot lower. It was like a quarter of what it was today, and people literally called it a fucking potato gun because of how fucking shit it was.
Yeah,
I
I
think
miss when the ballista was able to do anti-tank or it was able to ignore tank armor. It could just do raw damage to tanks, dude. That
I
video,
think with the chieftain, like, well, the chieftain
it would no,
is
the chieftain would fucking eat people, dude. That thing would be busted if it could act as an anti-tank cannon. I mean, it would like I would actually be okay with the chieftain. I like with the chieftain doing that, but
the
of course I
chieftain.
think it would need. I need the
All
trade-off would
250
need to
stuff
be
needs like
the
a pretty. The 250 stuff in the late game needs a balance, but regarding arms race and shit, right? Arms race
Mhm.
has like been a total clusterfuck for the entirety of its existence, right?
Yeah.
Like that for those first. Oh my god! Because so recently I rewatched the video I made back with the LTD release, and I stick by most of what I did with the video and most of the clowning I did on some people because it's very funny that how everything went where it was like I wonder what would have been the case if Arms Race released after the population spike because I feel like after the population spike the cope seethe mauled shit, the skill issue, the like whining, everything
No, it definitely became a
obviously
lot
increased,
more.
right? But
It
that's going to
feels
happen
like
with a population increase. but
with the well, it's something I criticize of the modern colonial team a lot. A lot of modern colonials complain a lot, and it's very disheartening to me because it, okay, here's an example: the Outlaw. Like, how many people when the Outlaw first came out said it was an unkillable fucking dude? This is it for our fact. Like,
you mean the
you know,
oh yeah, you do mean the Outlaw. Fuck.
yeah, I do
I got
mean
that.
the Outlaw.
For
Yeah,
some
yeah.
reason I thought you were talking about Highwayman. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, but people thought it was the doom of our faction. Like, dude, this is gonna be it. They're never gonna fix it. We're just gonna lose. We're never.
You
And
don't
it's like,
have that.
man,
You
it's
can
like,
go back to
okay,
the tapes, but I did not say that.
yeah.
I I am a lesser whiner. Okay, I hit you with the real shit.
My point is here though is that there's definitely like people in Foxhole, not just colonials, not colonial just colonials or not just wardens, but people in Foxhole have a tendency to fucking complain about shit, man.
Part
Like
of yeah.
it's dude, if something's OP, it's whatever, man. You know what? Fuck it. Just then
Here
don't have like I don't play Foxhole to win anymore. I won't lie.
here's
I
the
play Fox.
uncomfortable
Okay,
thing. Yeah.
let me see this. I don't play Foxhole to win anymore. I play Foxhole like I like I like vehicle fighting in Foxhole, and I like supporting infantry. That is those are my two favorite things that I like doing in Foxhole instead of
Yep.
armor, no matter what. And that's that's just how it is. Whatever gives me that best sort of gameplay. And I think people in Foxhole need to take a step back a little bit overall and just sort of like uh realize, of course it's the goal is
Get a
to
bit more micro
win,
with things. You
yeah,
mean?
but to get yeah, but to sort of take a chill pill like as a community, because it's always like there's very certain figureheads in the community that are like they like to like very prominent colonials and very prominent wardens who love to bang heads with one another, right?
Oh
Like
boy.
no matter what, or they'll type fucking like paragraphs upon like, man, I don't have time to read this shit, dude. Like, I work a fucking full-time job next to this, man. Like, give me the gist of it.
Yeah.
But
I
no,
look, hey,
but yeah,
that's why if I give out ideas, I'm always doing the like pretty infographics, right? With the
yeah.
have you seen the ones I made?
No,
It's
like
MS Paint like comic strips basically with
oh,
my shitty
oh,
art design.
mm.
Like
But
I think
yeah, but
they get the point across, but they're very shit.
it,
But
it,
like
it's definitely sorry, not the just sort of get back here.
yeah, yeah.
I don't. It's something that really bugs me about the modern Foxhole players that a
I
lot of people just think like the Reddit front has become a literal thing because of this.
no, yeah. I actually have a ton to say on this. Like so I remember I saw the transition to this like firsthand, and I even though like I don't really whine a ton, I usually like if I'm gonna say something is bad, I usually try to focus on okay, how can what's fun for me is when things are fair and you're winning barely, right? I don't want to stop I don't want to steamroll and I don't want to get steamrolled. I think the most fun you have in Foxhole is these really close like matchups that are really memorable, like War 19, like War 77. It's these big miracle comebacks or like these big like people are fighting like tooth and nail and like the winner could be decided at any moment, right? And when it comes to like the whining and stuff, I saw the transition because like and it kind of so it's really hard to say when stuff happened, but it all kind of happened
Falchion
at
and its consequences have been a disaster for the colonial team. That's all I'm saying, man. The falchion. That's where, dude. That's my marking of it. Where it all started to go downhill is when colonials were given the falchion. Enough said,
Are
man.
you Ted Anarchy? Is that what you are?
No, yeah, true. Ted Anarchy,
Anyway, um,
Font Kaczynski,
no,
but
um, the so I think like it all coincided with each other. The population boom, the Reddit warrior stuff, and the third hidden variable that people sometimes don't tie into all that is the lessening of dev communication. And why the devs communicate less is I think it's on two fronts. I think like they've realized that it's not as productive for them to actually come out with updates, and it's also that they notice they get a lot of like they get less attention on them when they like do less outward or even inward communication. Like the less they interact with the community, the less that they are the focus of attention, and the less like hate they get, right? And
Well,
and people always say like the Foxhole community is so terrible, and like I agree that the really bad elements really understandably shut down like why the devs don't do as much communication, but I think the fact that they don't communicate as much anymore has led to this situation where people just relentlessly scream it. Like the reason people say that they hate FOD or they hate Reddit is because the only way it feels like you as a player can even move towards like reasonable change towards like imbalances you see in the game is to be as hyperbolic and as extreme as possible, and to try and overstate like the effect of something, because maybe that is what makes the devs like make their changes or whatever. Because
well,
because the devs don't do that much communication on
what?
why balance happens,
Yeah.
it just feels like the only recourse people
Uh,
have if they see
So
an imbalance is to scream about
one
everything.
thing I really think though is with like going into balance and thing. I guess this episode is just gonna become like a general Foxhole history lesson or just us rambling about
Well, no, no, no,
Foxhole
no,
history.
no. This is still
But
about the community, because it's like
oh
this, this,
yeah, I
this
guess
is
with the community.
why people like.
So a lot, I think, in my true opinion, I don't think the Reddit should be for suggestions. I think the Reddit is for showing off. And I mean, I think if you want to post suggestions and you want to get things put, I think the devs need to integrate a new feedback system besides game feedback, because game feedback just becomes
So
a toxic cesspool
no
of
one with a functioning brain reads game feedback. The devs only do it when there's like keyword searching because they're working on a feature. Like they're working on Logi, or like maybe they're working on trains or naval or anything like that. They just keyword search like towns or like ideas to like pull it like that. They don't actually actively go into the channel and look at stuff. It is a goddamn cesspool, right? Like
yeah, for
when you
sure. I
talk about
mean,
like there's a few types of suggestions that you'd see normally on the Reddit, right? I think there's good kinds, because like I feel like this needs to for like a bit of nuance, because when you say suggestions just as a blanket term, there's like a fundamental difference. Like there's balance suggestions, and then there's like gameplay suggestions or mechanical suggestions. Like if people are talking about like, oh, I think the Intel game could have this and this and this, maybe you have dummies that you use to trip up enemy intel. Maybe you add a spy horse where I'm not even gonna elaborate on that one. Fucking old meme, but
spy horse.
if
Um,
you it's an
no,
inside
no,
joke. But
I get what you're
yeah,
saying, but
there's like there's those
I
kinds of
think
productive ones, but then there's also the
I
shit.
do, but I think Reddit should be for showing off to the because you a first player's new experience. If someone is googling Foxhole and they use Reddit, they're going to go to the Foxhole Reddit, and if the first thing they see is fucking Kali scumbags fucking alting my shit, they need to nerf this. The fucking Ransor
Yeah.
is OP the outlaw, or the Colonial's going the fucking outlaw is OP the chieftain, the fucking 250. Like, dude, take a chill
Yeah.
pill, man. Relax. Take
Actually,
a step back.
I
It's
the
you get what I'm saying,
whining.
like that's what I mean. It's like
Look.
it ruins, like you see the posts on the Reddit where it's like
Oh
these guys
yeah.
are like, yeah, dude,
And they're
I want to buy this game, but this community looks like shit. It's
the
like, man, trust me, you will meet. I have met some of my best online friends through Foxhole,
yeah, no, no, no.
Drunkle, Pupix, Marks, all these like wonderful fucking people, Toyotail, like
Foxhole
these are
has
very
some
good people.
absolute
Like,
like giga chads of like
yeah,
chillness, of positivity.
mhm.
The problem is that the devs don't really like it's I don't want to put like finger point everything on the devs, because it's not entirely the devs
Well,
fault here,
they need to what
but
they need to
they
do is they
need
need
to
to
have like they need to
see them,
actually,
man.
they have the power here. They are He-Man. They have the power. They can do something about like the state of the community by like doing more outreach into like trying to enforce like I think the biggest so I think there's a few problems. I think the devs need to be a lot more strict on their no bait post rule that they have on the subreddit, because that almost never gets enforced, right?
Yeah,
You
it's
only see that enforced when someone does like some really stupid shit. Like
well, it's also like
there are
the
so many
political
posts that are just hotbeds
homophobe
for like
posting on it or
extremely
something.
controversial discussion, and that people will like they're the kind of posts where it's like, do you think X, Y, and Z is cheating or like blah blah? It's like, motherfucker, you like there's things that people could like it all depends on like the questions and how you phrase them or like there or like the suggestions you have, but there's like suggestions that you can give that reasonable people from like both teams can see eye to eye on. Like this isn't people just like the devs have the power to go in and restructure like fundamentally like I actually when people say Foxhole is like an abnormally toxic community, I think that is absolutely untrue. I think that what we have is a very extremely screechy minority of the most socially inept like people that will
I think
absolutely defame the rest of the
in
upstanding
another way
players that you
to
have, right?
look at it more positively, like I think in a more positive light, I
You
think a
say
lot of
positive. I'm
but
saying I
yeah, I understand that, but
did you hear the
let me
second
point this out
part?
here. Yeah, yeah. Let me say this here. Like with people who complain on Reddit and with your usual suspects who are typing up paragraphs at each other, yeah, God bless them, God bless Fireblade, God bless Harsh Cougar, and them. But like when you have salty foxhole vet, all of them,
Yeah,
bless them.
that was
They're all
we're
very
fucking
they're all very passionate about. There's one thing they have in common, right? Like here, and that is their love of Foxhole the game. They're all very passionate about the game, and that's why they do that, right? And it is very important that there's that old Mr. Miyagi quote, man. Never put passion before principle, even if win you lose. Like, okay, so it's very much so like I think that needs to become a like principle in the Foxhole community, or just a rule on the Foxhole community needs to become like we need to embrace good. Of course, you're gonna have your trolls and things like that and people, but when we need to do away with like the brain dead loyalism, right?
yeah,
And we
yeah.
need to sort of, because it's going to, you have genuinely, and this will lead into another issue right here with if you go on the VM threads, the video game multiplayer thread on 4chan for
Why
Foxhole,
would
you're
I
gonna
go
find a
there?
lot of, I
Why
know.
would you go
I
there?
I go there because
You could you
I
that,
like
that's like
Foxhole's game,
dude, that's
but
like reading game
it's an
feedback,
incredibly
okay?
yeah.
You
I
gotta
read
whip
game
out the
feedback
popcorn
too,
or the
but
sparkling water, right?
there's definitely a lot of issues with it where there are people who are unhappy about the game and they go into grief shit. And if we as a community could address this better to make people fucking not unhappy and not hate each other, not hate their own teams and shit like that, it would solve a lot of our issues, right? Like,
Like
okay, a wonderful thing between like the agreement between Sigil and Warden Unity Hub, right, to catch alts. That's a very good thing. That's a very good
I didn't
faith
know that
thing
was a
between
thing.
our things. Yes, it's a
Oh,
agreement that vetters in the Warden Unity Hub and vetters in the Sigil Colonial Sigil will talk to each other if we
uh
suspect there's alts. So we have people in
one thing
channels.
actually. Oh
But
god. Oh, no, keep
I,
going. Fuck, I
let, let,
lost.
let me say
No, I
with this
had it.
recently. So
Oh.
recently there was a warden who came to us in the channel, reported there was like four or five prototype kits stolen in a truck, and they had like stacks of what's it called, like stacks of tech mats, like 3 or 4 stacks of tech mats inside their truck. Drove it straight into warden lines. And their name was Anne Frank owes me money, right?
Oh
So this is an
god.
obvious
I
alt. This is an
I
obvious
remember.
like
I
yeah.
I don't know about the tech mag stuff, but that
But
same motherfucker I think was literally driving a truck of a large shipping container into Westgate, despite there not
mhm,
being a single pad in Westgate that you could actually unload on.
yeah,
That was like
and
2 days ago from
yeah,
recording,
and
but
yeah, uh, that sort of thing, right? Like quite obvious alts and shit like that. If we as a community can solve this, if we can look past it
oh,
and realize that it's a problem that affects both. Like we had a problem in Som recently where one of our members left because there was a big argument about alts, and in my opinion, I think I've definitely I think both sides are affected by alts in much different ways, and
different how?
in different in the sense that you'll find that there's a lot more on the colonial side. There seems to be a lot more like despawning in like a lot more in at least from my experience, there's a lot more like despawning of shit, or like vehicles will end up in certain places in certain areas where they'll be very like lucky at the time, compared to the warden side where you'll see a lot more like
Blatant
shit like
stuff?
bunkers being, well, not blatant,
Oh,
but you'll see shit like like you'll see a lot more on the warden side. I find that like buildings are getting fucking fucked with.
Like the staircases or generators
Yeah,
being
the
attached
staircases
to
generation.
like,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yep. And then people building like tier one sections and it's just like fuck off, dude. You know, like it's whatever, man. You're just ruining a lot of someone's time, and it's like
Well, I think that's
fucking
the
grow up,
idea.
touch
I think
that.
those people
Yeah,
get a kick out of it, right?
of course,
But
and it's with that. We as a community got to try to act
yeah, yeah.
together to try to
I
prevent this. And I think after we can cross that hurdle, I think we can probably solve the alt problem. Because again, a lot of these people that you see who are fucking at each other's throats share that same love for Foxhole, man. And it's a very
yeah.
beautiful and it's a very nice thing, right? Because I love Foxhole as a game. Foxhole is a very good game. Hold up, like
Well,
one
that's
second.
debatable. No, I actually, on the topic, this is like 5 minutes ago, in terms of what we were talking about, but I feel like if the devs do a tutorial with 1.0, what they're gonna need to do is they're gonna need to also include a tutorial for vets on basic fucking conflict resolution skills. Because I feel like a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people. I feel like some vets could really learn a thing or two about not screaming at people, or just like learning to work with people. And it's kind of funny that such a social game relies on the natural innate talents of internet weirdos to be able to like function together as an army. I feel like I feel like that needs to be taught to vets in addition to just like teaching newbies the mechanics of the game, or at least the basic ones. And now Fonzie is muted for some reason, and he hasn't told me why. I'm guessing he is away from his keyboard at the moment. So you're just left with me. Uh, I heard Fonzie really hates a certain warden clan, and that he has secret alts in your walls coming to detonate all of your generator bunkers on your storm cannons. You think they'll be charged. They won't. Come 1.0, watch your back, friends. They're gonna be dead. They're gonna be dead. No, but on a serious note, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I might call the episode here. If he comes back, I'll keep this rolling, or like edit it down. Well, you won't be listening to this. No, you know what? You'll be listening to this. I'm not gonna edit it down. But let's see. What's up with Fonzie? I think he typed out a message and then just didn't hit enter. I'm beginning to think something bad happened to him. Fonzie, I'm gonna miss you, buddy. It was nice, a 3-episode runtime, but here we are. It's just deafening silence at this point.
All
Oh,
right,
oh,
everyone, the main entertainment's back.
he's
Hello.
back.
All right.
Do
So
you
where'd you
wanna
leave off, sir?
do you wanna elaborate more on the secret alts that you're gonna send to sabotage warden generators on their
Oh
storm
yeah. So
cannons?
essentially, what's gonna happen is we've hired two sects of the. Well, from my information here is the Colonials have hired Italy and their section of the Cosa Nostra to start running hits on certain various members of the Warden Upper Echelon. And from what I heard, ITA on the Warden side is also planning something the same. So I think we're gonna have a nice episode of the Sopranos Foxhole edition.
Don't
Fucking.
worry, there's a certain Italian 82DK member we've also paid off. Your
Mm,
stockpiles will be mine. Your
yeah,
train
I'm gonna.
stockpiles will be mine. No, to
Jack,
I
yeah.
I hope you're gonna watch this episode, or maybe you won't. You probably won't. You're gonna listen to me ramble for like 2 minutes about nothing.
My name's Johnny Knoxville, and
I
this is a dump
unfortunately none of it.
82 DK stockpile. Jackass episode. My name's Bam Margera, and this
Uh,
is, and this is Drop the 141 CR stockpile. Fucking,
unfortunately, nothing I said during your break was anywhere near that funny.
no.
Um,
Oh well.
my
That wasn't
brain.
even that good. That's like ripped, man. That's hack. I'm
No,
a
it's
fucking
it's
hack.
good.
I'm an
We're funny.
unfunny hack.
You're funny. You're funny. You're so pretty, darling. You're so pretty.
Don't talk to
Just
me like that,
come
man.
to bed. Come to bed. I
Anyways,
promise. I promise. I've got all your favorites right over here. Just come here. Anyway, um,
this is why you aren't invited to SomCon 2022, man. That's all I'm
damn.
saying, man. The fuck, dude.
Why don't you SomCon these nuts?
True, fair enough.
Good.
All right,
Okay.
so wardens. When you look at when you think of a warden, what is your first thing you think, or what is your picture of a warden in your head?
uh,
Like, what do you think when you think of a warden player? When you think of the warden faction, what do you think of?
it's like just a different flavor of Foxhole player. Like, I whenever I watch like I Saw Bear or like Dury when he's playing Warden, it's like it's always funny because after they removed voice comms, you never hear the enemy anymore, and I people get mad about that and like are ultra fucking like when lazy devs, when are they bringing back like cross faction VC, and it's like, man, I don't. With the modern Foxhole community, I really don't want cross faction VC. I think cross faction VC was so good back in the day, but holy fuck, not today, please God. But like when I watch those videos, I always think to myself like, yeah, these are just like this is like the same kind of shit that you get when you play Colonial on a front line, right? The only difference is like they're gonna be saying for Callahan, they're gonna like have their fucking different like chat menu spam and shit, right? And like at the end of the day, there's not like these huge differences. People like people will way overgeneralize entire factions and make shit up about people. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think there's more unsavory individuals on wardens, but like
Yeah.
that's
So
just
I
because you
think it
see them
comes with
more,
like,
right? Like,
okay, so I definitely think there. This was something I wanted to talk about, and this is a conversation I had with Apollo recently, and I hold um overall, I think that if you're a new player to Foxhole or just a player in general and you want to try out an opposite faction, go for it. It will make
oh
you a
no,
better
yeah.
player overall.
Don't, yeah, you
But
should.
but take it with a caveat that there are there are legitimate reasons why people don't like the Warden faction, and that legitimate reasons why people don't like the Colonial faction too, right? But from my perspective as a Colonial, I've seen and
And
I've
as an
heard,
ex-newt, right?
and as an ex-newt, yeah, with fucking there definitely has been a lot of problematic shit on the warden side, right? Like we have
I
some members who talk about it. I mean,
I think
and
there's
it's just
like
I think it's coming to an end. That sort of era of wardens being seen as fucking homophobic, transphobic Nazis, which is good.
yeah,
I think that's
that's
good
good.
for the health of the game
I think so.
overall.
That's good. I think that like in terms of like there you get those people on Colonial too, and you just like fucking cringe and wince because you're like, my God, this person is a psychopath, and I want to fucking scream at
Well,
them.
it's also like,
Holy shit! But I'm not like
you
it's
have
like
the Nazi apologists on fucking the warden side, but you also have like Soviet apologists on the colonial side too, and it's just like,
you
shut
get
up,
no, you get
man.
some Nazi apologists on
Yeah,
Colonial too. It's like
I mean,
and
it's
you
also like
definitely get
case
some
of the
so
love
it's
letters.
not just like one faction is like more right leaning and one's more like ultra left leaning or
Left,
some
yeah,
shit,
yeah, yeah.
right? Like
I think it's you
you're gonna
on
get
both sides.
this is
Yeah,
an
I
online
mean,
gaming community. You're gonna get like the absolute nut jobs on both factions, right? And
well, it
I
was
think
like that
like
one
there, you might see
RAF dude.
tendencies.
There was that like one RAF dude when we were just like, he was like spamming Erica in thing, and
Oh,
he was like,
well,
everyone's like, well, this is unfunny. Like, number one, it's unfunny. Like, it's no one wants to hear fucking Eric. Like, So when you're getting mad at people like comms reporting you and shit for
Yeah.
it because you're mic spamming, number one.
Hey, look,
And
I
number two,
I
it's
did
also
that
like
shit
you're
back
sitting
in the
there
day,
like,
but like, fuck, that was
well,
like,
it's also just like fuck off, man. It's like he's sitting there playing semantics of, well, it was a Prussian marching
no,
song
yeah, no.
written in
Anyone,
1922. It's like, shut up, you fucking nerd.
anyone,
Just like,
and it like, like I did that shit back in the day, but like, it's just like you play all kinds of just generic like if you even get into the weeds of like, but it was a this thing, it wasn't a like this thing. It's like, motherfucker, everyone knows the kind of
shut up.
shit that you're like. If you
Well,
were
and I'm
even
not. I'm
you
not
like
trying. Let
realistically
me set the record straight. I'm not trying to accuse any of the RAF guys of being racist. What I'm saying is, it's annoying, and when people criticize you for like bringing
understand why
in
they're doing
real
it.
history shit, like, yeah, understand why they're doing it. Why you are getting bad comms reports. It is not because you are it's not because it's because you're being annoying, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not because people are trying to suppress or suppress your
If you're
political
doing mic
ideology.
spamming
Oh, let's
shit,
hear about you. You are here to fight for a fictional monarchist faction and a fictional fucking military junta, dude. Like, shut up and just do
people
it. Like, or
just
when
let people play the
dude, when
game.
people are like, I remember seeing complaints from both sides about there being a black warden
What?
in the cover art. Yeah, there was complaints about it
Wait,
in
wait,
private
wait.
discord and shit.
Actually,
Yes, about
what
there
the
being a black
fuck?
warden, and it's like, well, lore-wise, they're all described as pasty, and they're all described as like Nordic. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. It's okay. Like
Actually,
that, they're like,
we don't
like, who
tolerate the
cares, man?
like. You get fucking
It's
nerds. We're
you
playing a
know,
fictional war game. Who gives a
like,
fuck? Just
dude,
shut up and play the game. Fucking
shoved in a
nerds.
locker
God.
too much as a kid. No, but it's and that's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's like when people try to like dictate that shit, or they're like, dude, well, Callahan would actually be a monarcho, fucking
Anyone
anarcho.
that like,
Oh,
look, you can talk about what it is, but like anyone that tries to invent their own fan fiction of the lore is a
yeah,
fucking nerd. If you like the
what?
lore, Foxhole has some good lore. It's not like crazy. I think it's
Definitely.
good. It's not great,
Okay.
but it's good. It's nice flavoring on everything of the game. The lore pieces that you find in game, if you ever find them, which is not
So,
common, they're pretty nice. Props to the angriest
yeah.
dev.
Yeah, Matt, fuck you.
Look,
Okay,
hey, look,
Matt, if you ever listen to this, man, I just gotta say, some like your writing is a lot of the time it's hit or miss a little bit. I like it's like Flowers for Marta was pretty good, but the Tower when I first read that, I was actually like,
I actually
it
haven't read
like
it. I've been meaning to
really
read the
you have
Chronicle.
never read
I haven't
Flowers for
read.
Marta
I
were
haven't.
pretty
Well, no,
was
no.
pretty good.
Chronicles of Ashes. I
Like,
meant to. I read. I think I read like 75% of the first one, and then I just got like, I've just got so much shit I've been watching and reading, and it's like I don't have time for everything, you know.
the thing is like the Warden ones, for some reason, or like not even the Warden one, but like the first one, the Tower, it didn't seem like genuine human interaction. And this is just someone who's like, I have no credentials in writing. Like I'm an idiot, so whatever. You take this with a grain of salt, anyone who's listening to this, but I have no pretty much I
I
have no
think like
credibility when it comes to being judging someone's writing style. But I thought it was very like it took a lot of turns. Like when the guy gets shot in the head for like tripping up, it's like, okay, like,
oh wait,
yeah,
is that the oh god, I actually did read that part. That like
yeah.
I
Well,
so here's the thing.
and that was
You
my
say
biggest
that
complaint about it.
doesn't sound like genuine human interaction. I think it does sound extreme, right? I think it sounds extreme, but I think it also does a little bit of tone setting, and I don't think it's like explicitly
The
bad.
thing, there's so much
It just
more.
kind of is like, wait, whoa,
Okay, you
this
hear.
seems a bit
Let me bring this
like
up. Okay, with tone setting, there's always the thing that's alluded to, and now we're being worse than the fucking lore nerds now because we're actually discussing Matt's
no,
writing
no,
style. But it's okay, I'm a
no, no, no,
nerd
no.
at
We're
like
not nerds.
Foxhole.
We're
No,
not nerds. We're not
okay.
nerds. Kopka, Kopka,
Anyways,
Kopka.
let me get this in here. The like with there's things you can show. You can show the camps. You can show a bunch of other things, but like it just feels. Do you get what I'm saying when it just feels like like the writing itself? If like that part felt
Overly gritty
edgy,
for no
just
reason.
like yeah, like the
Yeah,
whole part
kinda.
where the part where the two chicks, they go out to go, and the one chick tries to get the other girl to kill the goat to get her to try to
I did not
experience
get
what
to this
killing
part.
something is.
No.
Oh well, that's a spoiler right there. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But she tries to get her to kill the other goat. Now that is a good interaction, and that's a good like that's like I think that's something someone would do to try to do it. That's a very good like writing thing. I mean, you see it in things like and this is a Foxhole podcast, but I'll throw a couple in other indie games out there, right? Like that gives me tones of like Lisa the Painful. That's a very good tone
What's
setting
that
game.
game?
That's another game. It's just a it's a
Single
little
player?
yeah, it's a single player story based RPG game, and
Oh,
that's just
RPG.
gonna
Okay.
anyone who understands that, bro. And anyone who makes it this far, we're gonna do this segment here.
Oh, we're doing this now.
Hubert did not claim his free Discord Nitro last week. So
Is
what
it
we're gonna
still
do
is
this
it
week
still
is
up for grabs?
yeah, it's still up for grabs.
Or
So
are you
Hubert never
gonna
DM'd me.
rehash it for this week?
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll just do this week. The code word is, let's see, Lek. What's near me today?
Hey, can I do
Let's
this
go
one?
with yeah. Go ahead.
Because
Sure.
well, we can have it like loop back and forth. Because I was first week with Panashta.
Mhm.
You had like three
I
different
had
fucking words.
the Blackberry Waterloo. Lemonade
Yeah.
Waterloo.
It's
Hubert
like
never. I told Hubert to message me on Discord because Charge Terror got it, but got the free Discord Nitro. But anyways, go
yeah,
ahead.
no.
Lek,
Okay,
the word.
the word of this week is it's
Come
Blueberry
on.
Goblin Godfather.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know.
Well, it combines in our discussions, right? Well,
yeah,
you have the
well, I
blueberries,
was
which
like,
are
what's the
water.
topic of this
Dude,
video? Just
it's
Foxhole
it's a
community.
nice little Freudian sort of thing, You psycho. It's like.
What do you mean Freudian? I just
know.
use the common like those are the
Hmm.
common like nicknames, goblins and blueberries, right?
Oh well, I thought you came off that with off the dome top. It wasn't like
I mean
you were no
it is off the
cost,
dome
but,
top, but it's like literally
but,
like those are just what people
know.
refer to colonials and wardens as
I use
usually
a
as
lot of
nicknames,
big
right?
words. I'm smarter than I actually am, Lek. That's
Yes,
like
we all know you're okay. I can't say that.
the
Can't say that,
pseudo-intellectual.
Lek. You know what I was gonna say, but you can't say that, Lek.
But
Don't
yeah,
worry,
you can say,
I'll tell him when we're off the air. But
uh, what were we talking about before? Oh yeah, the word.
I don't
Yeah,
know
so
that
whatever you
this thing
said,
has
blueberry.
this train has no brakes, no
Yeah,
direction. We ride
blueberry
whatever track we
goblin.
find.
What was it? Blueberry goblin. What? Say.
If someone will message you a
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
know,
someone.
you'll know. You don't
Okay,
need to
yeah,
know.
We'll get it. We'll get it. When you message me. Remember the Fonzie Anarchy number 9777, and
You
you
can
have
just
to have a
find them on
shared.
FOD.
Yeah,
Find them on
yeah. You
FOD.
have to have a shared server with me. If you hit me up and you don't have a shared server with me, I'm not going to send you Nitro, and I'm not gonna say hi to you.
You know, I
But
don't have Nitro. Maybe I should send you.
yeah,
I don't
okay.
need it. I don't need it.
But we go to what's it called? Let's get back on to.
Just our last let's do our
Oh
last
yeah,
summing
yeah.
up thoughts.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
I was making
we're
fun of
closing in
Matt.
on
No,
an
Matt,
hour.
you're writing. You're yeah, yeah. But I want to say here, Matt, I mean, your writing it's all right, man. It's pretty
I
good all
think
in all. But what I wanted to bring up with lore chat though is since we're talking about this, so one of my before we go into this, like I just wanted to tell you about this. One of my new favorite pastimes is I like to go into the lore chat on FOD and I like to say like completely wrong shit and then watch all the lore. Like it sounds right, but it's wrong. And watch all the mega lore nerds fight with all the new lore nerds, right? And then it just
oh
turns
god,
into like a blood.
there was actually
So we were
something.
doing this, yeah, we were
Oh
doing this
fuck.
recently. Me and another Sam guy, we got in there and we started talking. He brought up, he's like, okay, what's a location on the map we can make fun of? And I said the Scar, and he says, what if we referred to the Scar as the Gape instead of the Scar? So I started talking, like, well, what do we know about the Gape? Another subsection known as the Gaping Scar, and shit, or like the Gape itself. And people were like, what are you talking about the Gape? There's no area in Foxhole. And I'm like, yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
if
That sounds less like trolling and more like you just going on a schizo ramble. Okay.
yeah, but I don't know. That's more
Hey,
like that's
hey.
kind of how I troll people. But anyways,
You troll
go.
people by nope, that's on brand for you, I gotta say.
Well,
But no, I you reminded me of a convo. I say convo. I could find it, but I'm not going to because I'd have to actually edit around this. It was on FOD. It was someone came in with like the thing of, oh, this is what happened in the lore, and it's like, I actually did the actually I'm not a nerd, I'm not a nerd, I'm not a nerd, Kopka, 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 Kopka.
Actually,
But I was like, yeah, no, both factions are a bunch of pricks is the TLDR of what I explained. And because
well,
his what his version was it wasn't even just like on it wasn't just like propaganda for one side where only the enemy is bad. It was just like it was some made up stuff, and I was confused. But no,
dude, is there ethnic cleansing in Foxhole lore? Because
no,
someone
God,
said that
no,
in lore
no, we're
chat,
not.
and I was like,
No,
dude,
that is not a thing. That is
uh,
not a thing.
okay, yeah, because someone
That is
said that,
not a
and I
thing.
was like, dude, I don't think they would type that.
That
Like, Matt
no,
would
no,
not
no, no, no.
type something
Look,
like
look,
that
look,
up.
look, look.
Like,
Matt would not go there because he does not need to give anyone any wiggle room for those kind of
yeah,
stuff,
for his
that kind of shit.
because
That is the
someone said that.
last.
Okay, I swear to God, someone said this in lore chat where they said like, yeah, they said something about like ethnic cleansing, and I was like, dude, what are you talking
That
about,
is
man? I
not a
have
thing. I can
never heard.
promise you that is not a thing.
They were probably trolling, to be honest. I
As
think
a
that's something,
certified
but
not lore nerd, I can tell you that's not a thing. And if a lore nerd
uh,
wants to contradict, blah, blah, blah. Look, it's 2 a.m. and I'm like,
yeah,
I this
dude,
is
this is the
I'm
best.
not
This is
I'm
our
not
best
drunk. I'm
episode
not
so
drunk.
far, man.
I had one
We're
cider. I'm
recording
not
at
drunk.
2 a.m. My cat's with me. I had to go AFK for a little bit. Like,
Oh,
dude,
were
this
you getting
is.
your cat?
Well, no, my cat just wanted to come lay down with me. So, or he wanted to lay down on my lap while I record this.
Bro,
So,
I wish
you
my
know,
cats would do that. They don't.
but
The one is just an absolute scaredy cat, and the other is like a massive like he ooh he just does what he wants. And
yeah.
I'm just describing cats, but anyway,
Well,
no, to get
yeah.
back to everything, we're wrapping up here in a minute, but
Are we?
ultimately
Shit.
I think like
Shit, man.
so again, I called him the angriest dev, and if he heard that, he'd probably already clicked off. But just in
We're probably
case.
already banned from the game, banned from pod. Never
Okay,
heard
look,
something again.
look, look, look. I don't think Matt's even gonna watch this.
No, dude, we should get
Almost.
Matt on the pod, man, on the
Hey, hey,
podcast.
I
That'd be
actually,
great, dude.
I had Matt on the original Trench Talk. That's
Are you
why.
serious?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I had him. I had Mark. I think I only had him and Mark. Actually, no, I did have Max one time.
I'd
Um,
want to get like Julian, like
yeah, yeah.
I want to
I
get like
actually,
Julian,
I really want to
Leon,
get Julian on, just to talk about like,
Hanks. That
honestly,
would be a lot of fun,
I actually
dude.
fuck.
I know.
I kind of want to get Julian and like Matt because there's no way we could get two devs at once. But
Yeah,
like
no way.
the
They're very
thing
busy
is,
people. Like,
I want to talk to a dev that does like art design because I just imagine for a second what it would be like to just like I want to I think imagine it how cool it would be for like a Dead Harvest type event where you just spawn in the middle of the wilderness in like the Foxhole world and there's nothing. There's no like there's still the towns, but there's no like factories, no trucks, no nothing, and you're just walking around. I think like Foxhole is a really crazy place to explore if you just like walk around off
well,
like the beaten path with like
Fox,
there's so many like little nooks and
Fox's
crannies
art
with like
style.
cool fucking like there's cool props that are in these sections of the map that no one goes to. And that's kind of what I don't like about how like the game design interacts with the like world design because there's so many like cool spots that you could go to, but you're just never really incentivized to. But anyway, yeah, that'd be like a cool thing for I don't know if we could get devs on, but maybe post 1.0 we can talk to like one of them, maybe get
Yeah.
one of them on. I don't know. Um, but to wrap
I'm
things
sure
up,
they'd love to talk
uh,
to us on our sub 500 view
hey,
podcast. You know.
they did it with Trench Talk, and
Yeah,
that was like
true. That
100 views. It was
dude,
old
I'm
school.
surprised
It
there's
was.
like, even 500 people who want to listen to us, man.
It's because I
Like, I don't.
posted. I think it's because I posted on FOD. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
that's probably. But
Um,
anyways, um, to sort of wrap things up here, Matt, you're a cool guy. Don't ban me, please.
Oh yeah,
Um,
actually, so I said I was gonna like. I think a lot of his stuff is
oh
good.
yeah,
I think there's some that's great, some that's mediocre. I think the overall lore
yeah,
of and theming of the world is super fucking good and consistent, and I think the consistency is like in
yeah.
and of itself really good.
Well, I
So
brought up
I'll just
flowers
give him
from
props
Martyr
there.
earlier.
I think
Yeah,
he's a good dev. Um,
but
uh, despite I think he's one of the more sour devs. But
mm-hmm.
you can still talk to the guy. He's not like
Well, yeah, no shit. And
usually
I mean,
he
he's
just
not
does not
a
want to talk about
he's not.
Foxhole a lot of
Yeah,
the time,
yeah.
or at least
I don't fucking blame him too, man. This
yeah, no,
community,
no,
like
no.
some of the people who like ping him in lore chat, who are like, "So Matt, can you describe the exact caliber and whether or not
Can
the
you
tank barrel
describe?
on the Devitt Mark
Oh
III
wait, oh
is
fuck,
a
oh no, it's my
like,
computer. Oh
oh,
god.
oh,
Oh
that's not
wait,
good.
wait is oh my god. Oh, you know what happened? Oh fuck.
What?
my
Don't tell me the recording
no
stopped.
no no no. I don't think it did at least.
Okay.
What happened was my computer unironically like the camera or not the camera the monitor shut off.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, that's scary.
I don't know if it kept recording, but the nightlight also like I do you run with just default like light settings? Because I run in a permanent nightlight setting, so all the everything is like has a red tint on it.
Oh no, I play with like blue light. My retinas are fried. I have like
Yeah,
deep
no,
vertical
I just run like
glasses.
a
You know?
I run like a max strength red light just to keep things easier on my eyes, you know.
Yeah, no, my retinas are burned. This game's gonna make me
Yeah,
actually legally blind. But
yeah,
anyways,
yeah. Our
but
thoughts
to end,
just
yeah,
wrap things up. Give me
yeah,
your quick
right,
fire thoughts on like the community.
so the community itself, like the community itself, I think it's a lot more similar in a sense now. I think colonials and wardens have become a lot more similar, and I think a lot of the whole warden elitism is kind of gone, and elitism in general has expanded to the entirety of the community.
Yep.
And I think there's a lot of issues in regards to how people view each other, how they somehow hate each other yet love the game so much, and without one another, like the game would literally not exist. So the thing that they love in the first place, if they really wanted each other gone, would like
People just kind of
you
so
know.
I think that there's plenty of stuff to point like this there's like a salt channel in both WA and Sigil, and you will generally find some pretty laughable stuff in there, but you'll also find like some like why are you posting this? This isn't like this is just you look deranged by posting this as if
Well,
someone's
yeah. Well,
salty,
it's like
right?
someone like someone like posting the N word or like someone like
No, 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 no.
calling someone like a slur or
No,
something
no,
like
no.
that. Yeah, it's like
That stuff is obvious, right? Where
yeah.
the subject is deranged, but like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
you'll get
No,
stuff
no, I
where
get
the
what you're saying.
subject seems completely normal, and they're like, and you'll from your best understanding, you're like, this is like so tame. What are you? And the poster is the one that seems deranged,
Yeah.
but like yeah, I think ultimately things are. It's really hard for like there, unfortunately, we don't really have hot takes for like the colonials or this, the wardens or this, because like all of that stuff kind of died in 2020, right?
Well, that the thing is I feel like that's a hot take on its own, right? To
That's not
say
really.
that like
Well, no,
I
it's
don't
not.
know.
It's
Well, the thing is there's gonna be people. There is a such thing as unique culture for both. Like
only a
I
hot
become.
take if you're. I can't use
I
that
guess
word.
a
Like,
brain
can't use that
like
word. Like,
a brain dead loyalist. Yeah. Well, because
I have
I
very
feel like
choice
there's
words,
definitely so
but
I think what is more alive now than ever is regiment culture versus anything. I think regiments have very different, or clans in
yes,
general just
yes,
have
yes,
very
yes.
different
Well, yeah.
cultures from each other, and I
There's
think
like,
that
cause like you
that's
can
sort of the
point to
making of
specific
the
clans
place.
that you really
Yeah.
don't like, right?
Well,
Or
yeah,
well,
immediately like
actually, I can point to individuals that I don't like.
one point to entire clans I don't like, man.
Well,
You
there's
know, I
only
hate the entirety of 141's. No, I'm just kidding. 141's CR is a bunch of cool guys, you know.
there's
Uh,
only really two clans I don't like, and that's about it.
oh yeah, you want to share that with everyone here?
The thing is that I actually like. So one of the clans I don't like anyone in it, but I don't even know who's in the clan anymore because I don't like them because of like stuff that happened about a
Previous,
year
yeah, yeah.
ago, and the people that I don't like I still don't like. That's like pretty much the end of it.
I mean, yeah,
And
I
then
was
there's
joking.
like then there's another clan where it's like I like some of the people in it, but I don't like a lot of the other people in it. And
So the
I've
two clans
and
you're
there's
talking about
like
are
and there's like it's
WN and
weird.
HOC, right? No, I'm
Huh?
just kidding.
Who?
Nah, never mind.
Wait, no, repeat it, repeat it.
I
I
said
think I heard
WN.
them.
I said WN and HOC are
Well,
the two
you
clans
got
you're
bang
talking
on the
about.
money. So let me so full like let's be completely like truthful then. HOC, I don't know half the people in it these days cuz I don't like them for stuff that happened when they got founded, right? Where it was like
Well,
they
they were
they
like,
founded from like HOC was a thing beforehand, but like 90% of the original members were like ex-gas because they had took over after Heimdall went AFK for like a year and a half, and they were pretty fucking toxic, and I didn't like them. There was a bunch of individuals with it that I didn't like. No idea about the average
yeah.
HOC member
Well,
these days though,
so
but
the thing is with like HOC, it's like they just have a lot of inflammatory individual, and I mean it's
yeah,
the same
that's
thing
what I
with
mean.
WN, right? It's like they
And
have a
that's
lot,
yeah.
and whenever you
The
have
thing
people
about
who
yeah,
shit
the
talk,
thing about
like,
WN is that there's like so I can point to specific members who I think are pretty chill and I like, right? Um,
well,
however, I can also point to specific members who I think are abhorrent and deranged,
yeah, I
and
mean
have spread rumors in the past, though I
if
and
you
like
don't
shit
want to,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
if you don't want to open up old wounds
that's
here, we
like this
can
is like
kind of
a whole thing, right? But
yeah,
like
we'll drop that here because we don't want to open up. A
no,
lot of
no.
H,
Well, we've already opened it up. I might as well like be a little bit more clear on what I mean here, because
well,
like
I would just we can save that for another time. I mean, if it's
there's
really
like certain like it was weird because like there was so I'm gonna reference like two events. There was like Alpmert randomly offered to give me a bunch of gold in Albion like 2 years ago for no reason, and like this was like I was playing Albion with FFL I think, and
hmm
that was it. Like um, but then there's also like I think like someone was posting some screenshots from WA that just had keyword lek or something, and there was like certain WN officers that really don't like me. But
well, yeah, no shit. Like I would I guarantee you, there's certain wardens who don't like because I can be I was a shitlord in the past, and I yeah, and I'll be the first one to admit that I'm willing to close a lot of old things that happen with people if they're willing to look over. Because I mean, a lot of us were back then were like
everyone
15
was a
years
shitter
old.
in like
Yeah, everyone.
2019.
Yeah. So like
Um, the reason I don't like clans like in modern day is like because I've seen stuff that's like from modern times, right?
yeah.
And
Well,
I part of the reason I'm being like very non-specific here is because it's like I don't have quotes on me or like screenshots
mm,
on me, and I don't want to condemn like the entirety of the clans, because I don't really know a ton of what goes on, and I'm pretty sure like
well,
ninety
it's
percent of the
also
stuff is like normal from like probably I'd say with
it,
WN it's probably like 90% of the time a lot normal. I have no
it's
idea on
also
HOC though.
it's also like look when it comes to like, okay, if someone is if you search up any colonial with any, like, even this
Any
most
clout, you're
smidgen
gonna
of
get some.
clout, you're going to get like bad shit just because it's the nature of having
Well, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's the same thing with World of Warcraft, like a lot, like, yeah,
It's
I
the
don't
same
care,
thing
like,
where
man, if you
people
want to shit
like
talk me, it's just whatever, dude,
people yeah
like,
people go crazy about anyone that's like it's the same thing with so I'll be a little bit clear. I like Silenus in terms of I think he has some fairly good consistent takes. He's a WN guy. He
yeah,
hasn't been
Silent
on
is
FOD in a while, which I think is a good thing for him because I think it was really getting to him in a bad way, and I hope he is doing better now that he's taken more of a break. I do hope he comes back at some point because it's nice having him there to talk. But I think
Silenus is no
he
G, man. So yeah,
what?
he's no G. He's a good guy. He's one
Yeah,
of the
no, yeah,
original sponsors.
yeah.
He's a real
Silenus is
collegiate
fairly
guy.
chill. He's
Yeah.
yeah, but like this whole thing is it's like I don't know. I think like I like a lot of DK. People get like, but DK is big, so it's like you're all. It's like with Psalm where it's like or
Yeah,
like
yeah, you
141
have like
or like
individual
any big
assholes.
clan. There's always gonna be like I think the default state of DK is generally positive. I think the default state of I actually don't know many clans outside of what are list off some Warden clans so I can say my takes on them.
Warden Vanguard doesn't play
No
anymore.
idea who that is.
187th Artillery Regiment, led by Liquid Popsicle.
I don't respect
Only
a lot of
Liquid
Liquid Popsicle's takes, but he's not a
Popsicle.
bad guy, I don't think.
I respect his backbone. I'll say that much,
Yeah,
man. You know,
I
I
I
have respect
I
for
actually
anyone.
there was a thing in FOD recently where I literally said to his like face, I don't respect his takes. He did have some okay takes. I don't hate the guy. I think he has some all right takes, some bad takes. He's a little I don't know because most of the stuff is entirely subjective for the bad take
Right.
stuff.
So
So it's
I
like
guess we're not wrapping
I
up
think he's an all
here.
right
So
guy, but
let's keep. I guess we'll keep going.
no, no,
Fuck it.
we're keeping this gravy train rolling for like another 5 minutes.
Um,
I
yeah,
know
I
we
think
said we'd be done like
like
15 minutes ago, but like
187th, well, 27th.
I don't know much about 27th, but they seem chill.
Yeah, 27th. There's
Is
not.
Bob
They're
Semple in
not.
27th?
I don't know.
No,
Bob Simple
he's
is.
in like 28th. Bob
Bob
Semple's
Simple is
cool.
like.
Bob
Yeah,
Semple's
Bob
cool.
Simple's cool, but he's also like a peculiar specimen.
Hey, that's what
Like,
makes him cool, right?
I don't know, man. It's like Padfoot was a peculiar specimen,
I liked
dude.
Padfoot,
I like
admittedly.
Padfoot too, dude. He made my
He was
clan logo back in the day, but he was, he was
he
like
was
peculiar, man. He was a strange British guy. That's all I can say. Like,
Padfoot.
he
So
was,
Padfoot was like I liked him as a person, and I definitely agree he was peculiar, right?
well, yeah, I think that describes like 90% of the community, right? You
That
have
that
everyone
includes you and me. In
yeah,
that, let's
myself
be
and I,
real.
like I'm,
We're
you
good
know,
people, but man, I would not want to be in a room with us for an hour.
yeah, well,
The only way we can tolerate it is because we're so crazy that like it cancels out, right?
well, and I think that's just anyone who listens to this it's like,
You're also deranged. You, the
yeah,
viewer, you're also
yeah.
deranged.
Yeah, this is actually like you need to take your pills. This is your reminder, man. Do it. No,
Yeah,
but
no. I don't know. I don't know that many Warden clans.
yeah. I mean, before 27th, who else? You said DK, HOC, WN, Siege. Siege doesn't play that much. I haven't catched them recently.
I don't know much about
Sigma.
Siege.
Sigma's a new big one. FMAT, BWMC.
I'm pretty sure
Uh,
FMAT is probably cool dudes. They're probably Logi
well,
dudes.
they're like T3C, right? So
Yeah,
of
yeah, they're
course,
probably cool. Yeah.
okay, Logi people. There have been I have had so many cases of stuck up Logi guys compared to like frontliners and things, and maybe it's because I'm a frontliner, I'm a frontline main. But it with like it's just like I hate it when logistics guys get like offended at the sound of combat. Like I remember I was fucking around, I was shooting my pistol one time, and this guy, "Then why the fuck are you shooting?" It's like, dude, like relax, man. It's like it's not that like I'm just fucking around. And
I
there was this guy who was like yelling. He's like, Do you know how much a 68 millimeter shell costs?" And it's like, yeah, like that. Yeah, it takes me about 5 seconds to pull it out from the base and shit like that. Right? Like
Hey,
um,
okay. Before we do, we're gonna have to do a Logi episode. I actually
yeah.
spent like no joke. There was like I was just like bored out of my fucking mind at work one day, and I was
Mhm.
just like, let me just math out like to like making some fucking 120 mil, right? Or not 120, fucking 40 mil. And I'm like, what would it take to make like MPF queues of 40 mil? And I realized it's the EMAT to MPF ratio. If you MPF a full thing of 40 mil and you do an entire freighter of salvage on just EMATs, it's literally 1 for 1,
Mm.
but that doesn't include the BMATs or whatever. So if you want to do 5 MPFs of like 40 mil, you have to do 6 total freighter shipments, 5 of them for purely EMATs, and the final one for BMATs. And I was like, hey, I got an idea. We can use this because you and me are gonna have to do a war where we commit to no frontline and do at least like
Yeah,
40 or 50 hours of logi or
you're
something.
not getting that out of me,
I'm
man.
not.
I think I have. I don't even think I have 40 hours of Logi in my 4K hours of
God
Foxhole, dude.
damn,
Like
bro.
I think the longest time I've done quote unquote Logi is okay. is when I was stealing tech parts for BTs, so I could fucking
I
get.
I remember those days. Yeah.
Well, I remember. So
I
there
actually
was
found
okay.
on my hard drive a
Quick
whole.
story here before. Let's have this be the wrap up story here, Lek. But quick
Yeah.
story here. So to explain, battle tanks, which were these really big
Wait, no,
fucking
you don't
tanks.
have to explain. No, please.
Yeah, yeah, I won't explain that, but so you had to get tech parts to get the thing, like essentially tech materials to get the things, to get the
Battle
actual
tanks,
blueprint
yes.
to make the blueprint, right? To
To
make
make
the
the
actual thing
tank,
you're talking
yes.
about. So Mark Foot was playing. Mark was playing, and he was at a component node mining stuff, and component nodes were one of the best places to get it. And he was had his truck like set to the side, and I saw that and I recognized the name, and I was like, I don't know who this guy is. I'm like, I'm sure I've seen his name before, but I haven't. And I start cracking open his truck, and I hear Mark's voice. He goes, "Hey, man, that's my truck." And I go, "Oh shit, I remember." And I don't know if Mark, if you would ever hear this, if you'd remember this, but I go, "Oh yeah, man, I'm a tech runner. I'm running tech back to the base to get tech." And Mark goes, "Oh, cool, man," and he gives me his
Okay.
tech parts that he collected, and I fucking
Oh
ran off to go
my
build a
god.
PT blueprint with it. Dude, and that
Okay.
was that's one of my
We actually
yeah,
gotta call it though. Oh my god, my
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
my computer's this is gonna be another 2.5 hour fucking like rendering
yeah.
thing. Oh
Anyways,
dear
all
lord.
right, trench
But
talk people, foxhole people, both wardens and colonials alike. Stay safe.
yeah. Stay
Don't
safe,
do
stay
anything
handsome, stay
stupid.
giga chads.
Yeah,
Don't be a toxic weirdo loyalist that's obsessed
yeah, don't
with
be an
like
internet freakazoid who has some weird
yeah.
esoteric
We're
politic
all
he's
fucking
into.
we're
Just
all
like,
chill here. We're all
yeah,
gaming. We're
relax.
all like
Yeah, man, pass
the
me
other
the
team
pinball.
does not fucking care that you whatever, just like stop being losers, start being friendly, and like we can all maybe meet in the middle and like have a good conversation, you know?
Yeah.
And hey,
Or we then the game can just die, and then we can all go back
yeah,
to
we can
play.
finally
Then we can all
escape the
go play
social
it,
experiment,
yeah.
yeah.
And then we can go play Anvil, and this can be
No,
named the
we're
Hammer
not
and the
doing
Nail.
stable speak.
We are
You will
stable
not get
speaks.
this.
Stable speaks happening,
You will
whether
not
you
get
like it or
this.
not. And I
Anyway,
can't wait to talk about yeah, dude, the horse and the recruiter bow. Yeah,
bro,
man.
bro, bro, the enemy,
Dude,
they're like,
difference, subtle
bro,
difference in the between the pagans and the
the
nomads
subtle
with what they
the subtle
believe.
difference between the battle axe and the combat spear. I'm telling you, like it's so overpowered because they get the combat spear with their cavalry unit, and it gets like a plus. Like
Okay.
it's so much faster, and they get the fast attack speed. Anyway,
Anyways, we
um,
just violated an NDA, so
no, I didn't. Everything I just said was made
I'm
up.
just kidding.
There is no Lance in Anvil Sing or whatever. I don't know. Anyway,
Anyways, yep.
catch
All
y'all
right.
later. It was a good
See y'all.
talk. It was good. We'll talk. We'll be back
You enjoyed this?
next week with we're doing these on Wednesday uploads. We don't know when we're recording. Today it was at fucking 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But catch you beautiful people
Yeah,
later.
and try to find the hidden word now, bitch.
It's like 10, 15 minutes ago.
Okay, yeah.
You can't just skip to the end. I promise you.
Promise you, we got
All right.
smart. Anyways.
Bye bye.